Hello guys and welcome to another episode of the Gibson Show, and today we are back in the battlegrounds. I am joined by Corsac, the Belgian boogeyman as I like to call him for friendly fire. Corsac, bonjour, ça va?
Bonjour. How are you doing?
I'm doing good, thanks. How are things?
Yeah, I'm doing great. It feels it's finally we made it happen. We made it happen and we can finally do this interview. Been talking about it for like a few months.
I think you were still on the Rumblers whenever we started talking about doing this the first time.
Maybe, yeah. No, yeah.
So I suppose we'll kick off. You've just qualified for the PAS finals, where you're going to take on the best teams in NA and South America now. And I've already spoken with Roth, and he's made his kind of intentions very clear. He's got high hopes for your side. How are you feeling going into not this weekend, but next weekend?
Pretty confident, especially after the qualifiers that we just had. Like, we know we played far from our like true potential, and that's what I feel like. It makes me think that like, okay, like how good can we be if we actually play to our true potentials and like if we show our true colors. So like we got fourth, even though we played bad. Like we all said, damn, we were shit. Like we didn't play good. So like if we actually get like our if we actually get our shit together for like the finals, we're 100% like getting a top 3 or minimum top 4 is like, that would be like the least I want is a top 4. But yeah, I feel like we're like a top team. We just need like more practice together, more like just, it's still our first event. So like technically like getting fourth is already a pretty good achievement. But we know after like playing scrims this much and like after seeing what our team is like capable of, like we know exactly that like we're not a like top 6 team, we're not a top 8 team, we're top 3, we're top 4 minimum. So yeah, it is definitely like top 3, top 4 is like the minimum goal that we're trying. Like we would be sad with anything else.
I've spoken, obviously I think I know the NA scene really well from just covering scrims from the last year. I know all the players, I've watched all the events, and it has been a case in NA where there's been the big two, for the last 12, 14 months, where Sonics and the now LG roster have been the big two. STK at the start of last year threatened to break into that mold. I think there was a while where people thought that maybe the Dodge roster could have done it because they were like entrenched in that top 4. But I feel like now there are genuinely 5 teams that could properly make a run at winning any tournament in NA. You guys are in the mix. Obviously, STK with Vegas back in, they seem to have found an extra gear compared to where they were at the end of last year. And Elevate have invested in the scene too. So they're a team that expect to maybe try push for it. But the thing that always stands out to me is every single one of those 5 teams are very different in how they play. So, Sonics, they have that aggressive style in the early phases where they like to pick up loads of kill points and build momentum as the round goes on. Luminosity Gaming, their side that prio really good positioning and manage to pick up kills in the late game because their positioning's so good. You guys, right? You guys are probably the most aggressive and oppressive team in NA right now with the way you play. You take big 2-2 splits, you get hyper aggressive, you're very active in kill feed reading. Like, I can tell that the minute you guys sense that there's a team nearby in a fight, you're right on top of it to get points.
No, for sure. Yeah.
With that play style, it's very high risk, high reward though. Like, you'll admit that yourself, because you're either going to get loads of kills and high placement points, or you're going to lose players very early, just by bad luck. You're bound to feel confident though. You look at the 4 players. I spoke with a couple people in the scene. You'll like this one. Simply Matthias thinks that you guys, mechanically, have the 4 best players alongside Luminosity inside of NA.
I like, it seems cocky and stuff, but like I want to be confident with my team, and I like I genuinely think that like mechanically wise, there's not a single team that can beat ours. Like Magi is absolutely insane, and he has so much to prove. Sharpshot has proven like that his mechanics is just insane. Like he's top ranked PCS 7, went to PNC. Like he's insane as well. Rot is like his AR. I've never seen someone like can IGL this good and has mechanics this like I don't think any IGL is actually as good as Roth mechanically wise. Like usually, like when you have an IGL, it's usually known to be like, well, a little bit less good mechanically. And just Roth is like one of the like our best AR player. I would say Roth is our best AR player. I think all of us three, like all the three others are like we're good at with everything, but like Ross's AR is just unmatched, I think. And yeah, like having like myself, Magi and stuff, like if we have like any of us, like even in a duo or trio, like we've won so many games as a trio. Like it is we're really good mechanically. Like that's something I can say. Really good mechanically. So all we need to do is just keep on practicing our team synergy and practicing like just us playing together. Like with more like more team synergy would actually get us to that next level, I think.
And I think that's going to get better as the year goes on as well. You've obviously had time on different teams. Magi's been on different teams as well. Roth and Sharpshot have a lot of experience playing together. I know that Roth is an IGL who likes to be in control. He's got his way that he wants the team to play. And I feel like he's finally got that with you guys. He likes to be aggressive. He likes to take control. And when you run Rumblers, that's something that you love to do as well. I always notice when you run Rumblers, you love to get up close and personal to people. You love to harass and harry and just make the game really difficult. When Roth came to you, or whether it was Roth, whether it was Sharpshot, whether it was Magi, when they came to you and said they want to build a new project with Friendly Fire, how easy was it to say yes?
It was easy. I didn't really know Roth this much, even though I played like with him like I did a few trials way back in the days, even before Dodge, before Rumblers, before everything. So I kind of knew him, but like not as much personally. But it was almost like a yes. Okay, I took the risk of leaving Rumblers, and I was like, okay, I like when I left Rumblers, I was like, I didn't have any plan. So I left Rumblers. I got picked up by Dodge because Gats from Dodge got taken by BBB. And so at first I was trying out for BBB, and when BBB said they're not taking me, I'm like, okay, like who can I join? Like I left my team already. They're playing with someone else. Like I have no choice. I took this risk, and I might be like it might be pretty like I might not play PCS 7. And what happened is that they took Gats, so it left like a spot was open in Dodge, and they hadn't like much more options, so they took me. I played in PCS 7, and well, things didn't work with BBB, so I was like, okay, I've played with BBB. I know how Roth is. I know this is my team. Like I know Roth is the kind of like IGL that I need in a team that like puts me like kind of on a leash. Because I'm, like you said, I'm aggressive. I be running around and like making plays by myself, way further from my team and stuff. And I know it's like it is a weakness sometimes, but it has a lot of good things to it as well. So all that matters is like that I have someone like Ross that like can tell me when to slow down and when like I can actually like go and do my thing.
Even last night in scrims, I don't know if anyone was watching, but there was a game on Erangel where it was just you and Sharp left up on top of the hills by plane crash, and you were about 200 meters south of the plane crash. You were fighting raccoons by yourself. He was about 200 meters north of plane crash. And it was like, I don't know how Sharp actually managed to get the res at. Crazy. It was that far away. He had no car. I was surprised he got it. But I was like, that is friendly fire. It's the most friendly fire thing I've ever seen. You guys are actively out on your own looking to see if you can find points. And even as a duo, you were trying to take as much control of that zone as you possibly could.
No, for sure. I think something that like we've learned with like the 4 months that we've been playing together. It's actually been 4 months. Is that like we can be 4 or 2, and we will have so much firepower. We can actually win. We've won games as a duo or as a trio so many times. Like it's actually rare. I don't even remember like 1 or 2 games that like we actually won as 4. It's rare, and like so some are gonna say it's not like an actual thing to brag about, because well, usually you want your whole team to be alive, because like it proves that like your team is good, they can stay alive, you have good chemistry and stuff. But like a lot of teams, when they lose a player, you hear like them doing like that. They have like a sigh, you know, they're like, oh fuck, we lost the player, we're 3, like how are we gonna win this game? When we lose a player, we're like, all right, like it doesn't matter. Like yes, it could have been it should have been better to have like a 4th player, but like we know what we're capable of as a duo or as a trio, and it doesn't like we know we can get like at least 8 points to 10 points every game, even if we're 2, if we're solo, if we're trio, if we're 4. So it's something like we're really confident in our duos or our trios.
You're almost like a wounded animal of a team. You get more dangerous whenever one of you are gone, and it makes you play maybe a little bit more aggressive. But I want to move away from the current team and move away from this year and kind of talk a little bit about how you got here in the first place. So in the past, we've seen a lot of players from different regions play in NA. You know, you've had guys like Tig, a lot of OCE guys have made the move to play in NA. But when you think about the list of European players who have played out in NA, it's a lot shorter. You know, it's people like you, Silers, Honey Badger. The list isn't as long. So you've obviously played for a couple of teams now. You know, 2 stints with Dodge. You spent some time with the United as well. Tell me about how the move to play competitive PUBG in NA came around.
I feel like it was more of a like I didn't really have much choice in EU. Like my reputation, like obviously I've been in like playing PUBG for a long time, and even like 2 to 3 years ago, like 3 years ago, when it actually all started, kind of was when I played with First Phase in the morning squad. I mean, I still play in the morning squad with him almost every morning.
Whoops, we've got a technical issue. Give me a second. That was not ideal. My Discord just disconnected. Sorry.
No, all good. All good.
So you were just saying about time. So it was kind of a time. That's where we just left off.
Yeah. So yeah, I was like, I wasn't really. I would say I wasn't really liked in the Europe scene. Not liked as a as a person, but more like as a player. People didn't really like actually think highly of me, because obviously I had no achievement. I was like kind of like the fun guy, like the funny guy, just like running around making plays, dying solo, all that stuff, like all for the content. Because obviously when I'm streaming, I'm totally different than when I'm playing competitive. And a lot of people in Europe they just saw that. That's all they saw of me. So when they just see this, like they just see this part of me, well, they think that this is me in competitive. This is me in like they don't really want to like give me chance, which is normal. Like I get it. And I felt like the only way for me to actually have this whole like this opportunity to like get to the next level and get to like a tier 1 event was to like join a whole new scene. Some people that like didn't really know much about me, and I just came in like in PC. It was PCS2, my first event, and it was back in the days with Dodge when I joined Finna. Well, they were interested in me. They saw something that like people didn't really see in EU, because it was like it's a whole new player. Like we don't know anything about him, and it really helped because it opened me the doors to like the tier 1 scene. And even if we got dead last at PCS7, like we got at PCS2, we got 16th, but it was still my first event. It was still my first final, and the fact that like you play, like the more finals you play, the more tier 1 event you play, the better you'll get at it. The better you taste what it's like. And so that's the best experience. That's the best training that you could ever get. And that's why I don't understand why people are just like, so many players are just struggling in Europe, and they've stayed in Europe for so long, and they get disqualified for like round 2, round 3 when they're good players. They just don't have this access to the tier 1 scene yet. And it could be so easily resolved by just joining NA, by joining an NA team. The problem now is that it's almost impossible now because of how little amount of NA players there is.
Yeah, even in the last year, we've seen the amount of teams that are entering quals for these events too. It's kind of dropped, and I think that maybe when we start getting these LAN events, because obviously there's going to be 3 international LANs this year, not including the World Cup. That's just, or not Nations Cup. That's the 2 events plus PGC. You'll see people maybe looking for more avenues to qualify, more ways to get in. You know, obviously NA as well has probably become even more competitive for the likes of you guys because the Gas Cans roster moves. So that's another really good team that you don't have to focus about, because they're probably a team that I would put closer to you guys with the way that they play. You know, they're a very aggressive in-your-face team as well. Maybe not as aggressive as you guys, but still, if they get the chance of a fight, they're going to take it.
Yeah.
So you've made the move to EU. You've had your time with Dodge. Then you make the jump to United, and you kind of go through 3 different teams. You know, you spend time with the United, you spend time with Rumblers, you go back to Dodge, and then you
United and Rumblers were the same team.
Yeah. But obviously the org...
Yeah, the org changed.
Had changed their mind. So you were with that roster for quite a while then. At what point did you feel like you needed to move? Like, what funded that decision for you to say, right, I've been with Rumblers now for a lot of events. These have been my teammates for a long time. I need to change the scenery.
It was after barely qualifying for PCS 6. Or I don't know which event was the one before PCS 7. Maybe ESL. It was the ESL 2.
Yeah, the Masters.
Yeah. So we literally barely qualified. And it was like, do I really want to take the risk of like just like at this point for me, PGC was like, yeah, I'm not making PGC this year. And I was like fine with it, but I was like, I want to see what's there. I want to see, like, even if it's the last event of the year, the one right before PCS, the last one before PGC. I was like, I have to change something. I've been playing with Rebels for 5 events, six events. It was a year and a half. I felt like we were getting capped a little bit, and we wouldn't like really reach our true potential, because like when you think about it, like Waldo has always been a good player. He was always good. He's just not like a hard worker, and I love Waldo, but like he knows himself he's not a hard worker. Like he's not gonna be putting the time in and like the effort in, and he could be like a top tier player, but he was just not put the time in. And it is fair when he's been a top player. He's been at PGC. He's been like when you play offline tournament like this, you don't want to grind. It's not the same thing. It's not the same feeling. And in my perspective, when I have like this hunger of like wanting to be the best, where I came from nothing, right? I had like no experience when I joined Ramblers, and they all had like PGC. They all had like Valiant had like the Nation Cup. They had like NPL, all that stuff. I had nothing. I was like, I'm the newcomer, and I still have this hunger. I want to grind. I want to beat people. I want to put like 10 hours a day into the game to make sure that I'm the best. And that's something that like we were not sharing that mentality. And getting to a point where I'm like, okay, like I need to change something. I need to find people that are like-minded. I need to find people that like are as hungry as me to like we all want to win. Like it's easy to win. It's easy to want to win, but like who actually has what it takes to put the time in and the time and effort into like actually doing the things that you need to do if you want to win. And it's rare to find these players. Like you have very little amount of players that actually put the time in. And when I found like the mentality that Roth had, the mentality that Sharp and Maggi had. I was like, okay, this is what I need. This is the players that are willing to put X amount of hour per day because they know that it is what you need to be a top team. And first event, yes, it wasn't the best qualifier or best performance, but we still got fourth. That's my best. That's the was the first event as a team. We still got fourth in America, and that's like my best record was 7th. I think in all my PCSs, I did 16th, 12th, 11th, 8th, 7th, and that's it. Or maybe like a one. I almost did better though, so that's good. I always did one placement better or something. But here it's like jumping from 7th, which was my last event, to which was with Dodge, so already was a better team, and it was like already an established team, to 4th. I'm like, okay, what's next? Like, what's next? If I keep on grinding the same way that I've been grinding this my entire career, well, like, I'm right there. I'm right there to like close out on an event, to make worlds, or to win a major.
Well, you're in a position now that if you guys go out at PAS and really play well, you can go to an international LAN. You can go and get there, put the work in, and start making that journey towards PGC, because I can tell it's something you want. When I spoke to Roth, it was like he made it clear he wants to be at PGC. He wants to be winning. He has that mindset. And I don't know if you watched the interview with Roth, but we spoke about you. And he was like, I really want a Corsac. He goes, the minute that he was available, was like, I can put the leash on him. They were his words. I can put the leash on Corsac and
That's true.
Make him the right player. And I love the way you guys are playing. And what I love about it more is the community are slowly getting on board with Friendly Fire too, because they've got a lot of love for Roth. You know, Roth has been in the NA scene for a long time. But I'm starting to see more and more people pop up, and they're talking about Corsac. They're talking about you. They're loving it. There was one guy in my chat in particular who every single time the interview with Roth came on, he was like, "Where's Corsac? When's the Corsac interview?" He was desperate to get you on.
Yeah, I mean, I do have fans, but it is nowhere near the LG, maybe LG and Sonic's community. Even STK has a bunch of fans, even though they're not streamers. But yeah.
Well, look, Tig got rid of his curls. Now you're the only curly streamer in NA that I can think of that plays the game. So I think, we'll have to get you in there. But that's again the mindset, people like you, people like Tiggleton, Sharp and Roth. You guys, you're always streaming, you're always playing the game and making yourself get better. And I think it allows the community to get to know you guys better. It builds your fans, it builds your viewership, because I think that there is a massive opportunity lost with a lot of NA teams, a lot of NA players, where they're not streaming, they're not putting content out there. It makes it harder for orgs to get to know them. It makes it harder for them to maybe sustain the life of a professional esports player. Was, I think, with you, with your socials, with your streaming, with playing now and hopefully getting prize money at these events, it builds your brand and makes you a way more marketable player. So
100%.
I want to talk then about NA. So we've spoke about a lot of the teams. We spoke about, you guys, Sonics, STK, Luminosity. You guys want to be in that race for winning tournaments. I know that for a fact. I think that's the goal. That's what all the top teams in NA want. But with that, it is going to be difficult, because it's hard to break a mold when the mold's been that way for such a long time. With this year, how certain are you that Friendly Fire, or whatever name that you guys will be running under when that time comes around, because I do want to see you guys get orged up. It's something I want. How certain are you that you'll be at PGC?
90%.
I like it.
That's like the 10% is like, I would say it was Yahoo that we could see that them being like contesting us for the spot, but Punij has first they haven't qualified, then Punij has recently tweeted that he's retiring, So I don't know what's gonna happen with Yahoo. I don't know what's gonna happen with the other players, but there's no sparking anymore.
Mm-hmm.
It's just not as good as it was. STK is good. I think I'm really impressed by Vegas. Like, and I always knew he was a good player, but I'm actually really impressed by how well they played, and they've been grinding as well. So it's a good thing. There's no more gas can, like you said earlier. It's like, so we can for sure put Sonics, LG in there, and I think the 2 spots are gonna be like STK, us, and I want to say Elevate and Team, because they've proved that like they're like good teams even with the roster changes and stuff, and Team being a new kind of like a new roster like us. So I would say it's like us 4 for the race for the 2 last spots. Because STK is really good. I would even almost put STK for sure there, because they've always made it to an event, to like a world event. But we know how STK is. If they can get like sloppy, and like they can maybe like sometimes they can, like we've seen them not performing well at all. So it just depends how good STK can be. But I would almost put them in the top 4 as well. Like I would put a 90% chance as well that they qualify, and the 10% is like either one of us are not gonna make it. It's like the 10%.
Yeah, it is though. It's the thing that a lot of people maybe who watch other esports don't realize with PUBG is it's not always down to you. There's 16 teams in a lobby, and you can't control what other teams do. So you're going to get third party. Things are going to go your way. You've got the RNG of the zone to deal with as well. Now I know the better teams, once the first zone pops, have a very good idea of what's going to happen next, but it's not just as simple as another game where it's Team A versus Team B, and you just got to beat Team B. No, you've to contend with the whole lobby.
You're gonna be the whole alphabet.
Yeah, so I want to ask you about some players now inside of NA and kind of get your vibe. So there's a couple of very good young players coming in the Americas, right? I think there's no doubt. Like, to me, I still think the most exciting player coming through in the Americas is probably Gizera. If he was speaking English, I have no doubt that there would have been a long list of teams that wanted him.
Yeah.
But you played with Ethan, and Ethan's now made the move to the Elevate roster. He kind of worked in building his whole team. Do you think Ethan is as good as a lot of people have seen do? Because I have a lot of love for him. I think he's got a big future. From playing with him, what did you make of Ethan?
I think Ethan is really good. I really think Ethan has an insane potential, because even before joining Dodge and playing with him, I said I want to be in a team with you once. I want to see how it is. I think you're really good, and I'm like I want to have you. I want to try something with you. And we played in Dodge together, and we had that this year. And I think he played good as much as like how can I say it? He played as good as I thought he would. I was just more I just think that he has a whole he has to work on his mentality, and he's been working on it. So I just think that like it's not only about like being good, you know, it's about like knowing how to like hard to like put the words in this without having to like, because they're my old teammate. Like I don't want to like I'm never gonna like talk back about my old teammate, but it's just more like you want to like it's not just being good, you know. Being good is if being good was enough to be a top player, a lot of top we would see like a lot of top players right now, but it's not about that. It's about being good. You have to be professional. You have to like, a lot of these players haven't worked a real job before, or they haven't like seen what the real world is, because like they've always been like in front of their like computers. They haven't seen like a lot of them have been homeschooled as well. So like it's a lot of stuff that like you don't learn these social skills that are really important in any type of work. And by not having these social skills that you learn by going to like public school, or by going to like trying to, like having an actual job, so knowing what actually working is, because like we're playing for a living. This is easy. Like it's great, but it's like I have a bunch of friends that are actually working, or they're like my parents. So like these are real work that like literally burns you off. Like it's like it's like you're tired and stuff. And here, like you don't really like when you don't have this experience in life, like you don't really have, you can't really judge and have the balance in like what you need to do, because it's still your work, like what you need to do and what you want to do. Like it's a whole like there's a whole balance, like there's a whole difference between like wanting to do something and needing. And here it's all about like, oh, I don't want to VOD review, oh, I'm not gonna VOD review, oh, I don't want to like I don't want to treat this person with respect, I'm not gonna do it. But when you're at work, you don't have the choice to treat your boss with respect. It's like it is how it is, and you can't do anything about it.
Yeah.
And yeah, this is something that like a lot of people have to learn. It's like having this professionalism and this kind of discipline towards work.
Yeah. Even for myself, as a caster, obviously I'm still not broken in PUBG. I'm still kind of in the community cast level, but in Siege, I'm working at a really high level. But it is a case I'm balancing it with a day job. I've had a day job for 10 years, and you learn a couple of things there about, as you said, social skills, being on time, being where you're supposed to be at the right, at the right time. And I think as well, having a day job, if you've done it for a while, it makes you realize how lucky you are to work in an industry like this where you can make money doing something that you have a genuine passion for. So, moving on.
Wait, I would just want to say something, because like I don't want this to be like aiming at Ethan, because we just talked about Ethan. It wasn't anything aimed at Ethan.
Yeah, of course.
It was more in general for like a lot of players, and it just swerved this way because like I got fucking taken speaking like this, and I couldn't really like I just want to make sure that like it's not like aimed at Ethan. Okay, it's like,
of course. No, I think everyone who knows this knows you, and they know that you're not the type of person anyway who would have a go at an individual. It's not you. I think it is just a general talk about people in the industry. So yeah, don't worry. I think that's come across. The thing I want to talk about now, though, is a question that I ask most people who come on, and it's, if you were to build yourself a 4-stack, so including yourself, but you're not allowed to play with people on your team, so you have to pick people from other teams. Who would you love to build as your little team of 4 players?
Well, if I really can't have my team, I would for sure put Tig. I would want an IGL like, I would say Rello, because mechanically wise, well, he's really high there. Like he's up there. The same way I would put Roth up there. Like I think Rello is like one of these IGLs that are rare because they're really good IGL and they're good mechanically. So I feel like if you want to have an IGL that has fragging power, you want to put the Rello. And then it would be, I'm taking any players here, but I mean people that played in the scene, and maybe I want to put Greg Shaw.
Yeah.
Like I know he left. I know he left for NA, but for OCE. But I think Greg Shot is 100% the kind of player that like you want to have on the team. It's like a good teammate. He frags. He puts the work in. He's nice. He's professional. So yeah, I maybe yeah. Greg Shot, myself. Greg Shot, take Rello, and myself.
I've said it to Greg. I think last year he elevated himself to being properly in the conversation of best players in the world. Like he really improved so much over last year. But I want to stop talking about PUBG a little bit. We spoke a lot about PUBG. I want to talk a bit more about you. So, as a PUBG player, it takes up a lot of your time. I know that you scrim, you stream, you play games a lot. But what do you do in your spare time to kind of keep yourself sane? Now, I know that everybody watching, like, it's Corsac. He goes to the gym. Of course, that's what Corsac does. That's what he likes doing.
It's recent. Recent. People all know about it because I always talk about it. But
but tell
us. I'm still skinny in my head. Okay, I'm a skinny. It's like.
But what do you like doing in your spare time? How do you decompress?
Well, I decompress with the gym. It's That's something that I do every day, 2 to 3 hours, and I know it's a lot, but I love it. So I this is my chill time is the gym, and a lot of people take it as work or else like they don't like it, or I'm going there, I'm happy, I'm like finally like some rest because the rest of the day I'm just working, I'm either streaming, playing scrims, VOD reviewing or anything, and working on my side hustles. I'm working on trying to work on some other business on the side because we all know how unsustainable esport could be, and it can be like really hard to like make a whole career out of it. Like even if I kind of have a career, but like we're still playing PUBG, right? Anything can happen, and yeah, I have a whole apartment, I have a cat, I have stuff to like take care of. So I want to make sure that like financially I'll be fine, you know.
Yeah.
Other than that, well, it is about it. I don't really like. I love what I'm doing. I love my life, and I love working. So if I'm not at the gym or streaming or playing PUBG, I'm working on myself. I've been on like a kind of self-improvement journey for like more than a few months. Like I'd say a year now ever since I started the gym. So, but it's not only about the gym. It's about like the mental, like improving your mental, improving your life in general. And that's what I'm kind of trying to do now. I'm trying to like change, like help other people going through this same kind of self-improvement journey that I've been through, because like I feel like people have seen the changes in me. They've seen me. They like a lot of people. I've been streaming for 4 years, so people saw me a year ago. People saw me 2 years ago. They've seen the difference between the Corsac 2 years ago and the Corsac now. So I think that it's a good way of like showing that what self-improvement can do to someone. And I'm like, obviously now the time is what I need like to keep working on it, but I want to like open a YouTube channel where I can like show my personal experiences on like what helped me going through this, what helped me like build my mental, what helped me like to my like a bunch of stuff that I've like to the gym, my diet, like all that stuff that could be like really helpful for some people, because it's not only about like wanting to get in shape, it's wanting to be like mentally in shape as well. Like I've stopped eating fast food and stuff, and I feel so much better because it's a bunch of like little tips that it's like it can help you so much like mentally, because I was also in a bad place mentally, and it has like a bunch of stuff has helped me, and I want to share this knowledge that I've got from other people online. What I want to share it with my community. I want to share it with the people that I care about, because they've been giving me this whole life. Like my career right now is thanks to my community. So I want to like find something that I can like give back to my community for what they've given me.
So I'm probably 11 months behind you. I've started my journey on that side of things too. You know,
Really?
I'm going to the gym. I'm starting to cut the fast food out. It's tough. You know, it's a habit. I know it's a habit that you need to kind of wean out. But I'm doing it. Going to the gym, working out on the daily, trying to. For me, it was seeing myself on a broadcast in a studio, and I saw a picture of myself, and I was like, I'm not happy with how I look, because I used to be what you were like a year ago. I used to be built like a pencil, you know, no fat, just really skinny. And I was like, I want to get the body I want. But for you, what was the trigger? Like, what was the trigger that made you decide that you wanted to start that journey of self-improvement?
My current girlfriend is not gonna like it, but it was a breakup.
Yeah.
I think I've talked about I talked to like a few friends about it that are currently going through a breakup, and I told them that like the best thing that can ever happen to you is a breakup. I think any man in general has to live a breakup and an actual heartbreak, and then it just pushes you up, and you learn so much from it. And I'm so thankful for it. Like it sounds rough, but like I'm so thankful for it, because it's like I needed it to happen. I needed this change in my life, and that's the kind of trigger that is unmatched with. You cannot find anything else that is gonna trigger your body and your mind as much as a heartbreak. And you like right now I'm so happy. Like I have no like it's something like you I don't want to like get too into it because obviously it's not like it's too like it gets too personal. But yeah, it's something like people have to learn, have to go through to get that trigger and to want to be like the best version of yourself. After that, you're like, okay, like I'm never gonna let this happen again. I never want to like live this whole thing again. So I'm just gonna work on myself, and I'm gonna be the best version of myself.
And you're doing a great job. Genuinely, you've your gameplay has gotten so good in the last year, and let's be real, a part of it is down to looking after yourself. Anybody that I know, I know a couple of tier 1 Siege players. They've started sleeping better, going to the gym, and their gameplay has gotten better.
100%.
It's the same as athletes. People don't realize the way that you are physically affects how you are mentally, and the way that you are mentally affects how you are physically. It's a circle, and the best players manage to do that. You said your girlfriend your current one's probably unhappy, but I'd say she's happy. Your breakup meant that you're with her. If you didn't get that breakup, you two wouldn't be together, and you wouldn't be the animal that you are today.
I appreciate it.
I love the way that you've documented the journey. A lot of people will be watching that, and as you said, you want to inspire people to do the same journey that you're on now, because it is just you only have one life. You got to look after yourself and make sure that you're happy and healthy.
100%.
So, I think as we're coming to the end of the interview, because I know you've got a tournament that you got to play in like 40 minutes. You don't have an awful lot of time. So, as we wrap up, first one is, if someone wants to keep up to date Corsac with you and keep an eye on what you're doing, where's the best place to catch up with you?
I would say my Twitch stream. It's like it's the one where I'm the most active on. I stream every day, so it's super easy to like get to talk to me. And then from that, then you can have like, you can talk to me. I always answer. I always look at my chat, so I always answer to like the questions. And this is from where I would like, depending on what you need, depending on what you want. Like if you want to like follow my my PUBG journey, well, I would say just follow me on Twitch or on Twitter. If you want to follow my whole like gym journey, well, that's maybe my YouTube is gonna be maybe a bit more helpful. Even if I'm still starting there, I'm just starting the vlogs, and I'm starting like it takes a lot of time, but I'm trying to get there. So yeah, it's mostly my Twitch. My Twitch is like my main. It's my main social media, I would say.
And that's Corsac PUBG, right? For people
Corsac PUBG, yeah.
So
Corsac PUBG.
See, hear that, guys? Everyone watching this or listening to this right now, go follow this man on his Twitter, his Twitch, and his YouTube to keep up to date with everything that's going. Corsac, this is kind of the end of the interview. So the very last question, this is the last thing I'm going to ask you. Tell all these viewers why you are so important to your team. What's that one thing that you do that nobody else in your team can do?
I feel like we've talked about it a little bit, and it's the way that I am really always looking to like for new options and new like opportunity, new fights, new like I'm kind of like, I feel like I'm kind of like a key player in the terms of like getting entries, getting that double knock in like because I'm doing a flank that is like unexpected, because I'm doing my thing, right? And when it's managed well, I think I can be like, I'm a key player in this whole like proactivity. Proactive would be the best way to describe it. It's like I'm so proactive that like I'm always thinking of what's the next move, what can I do to help my team there, what can I do to like make this fight easy, or like this whole like if we have a fight, well, I'm gonna try to get 2 knocks because I know how easy the fight can be if I get 2 knocks, right? Or if I get that flank, and so it's always just the fact that I'm like, my mechanics are really good, I would say. So they're not as good as, I would say, players like Ming or Tig, but I think they're still pretty top level. And I think I can when I put it in the right when I manage to actually use it the right way, so without dying, because by doing this, obviously it implies a lot of like death, and that's what I'm trying to avoid and trying to work on. But when I put it when it works, it works.
Yeah.
When I make it happen and like we get that easy game because I do like just a great play, it just opens up so much more opportunities and it makes the game easy. And the same way we talked about it with my coach is he which is Gobang, that has helped me a lot through the years. It's like if I get to the end game, it is the easiest end game that we could ever play. It's like when I'm dead, like we lose so much, and that's something that like he has always said. And it was even with Ramblers, like when I was dying early with Ramblers, or not even early, like even mid game, like I wouldn't value my life enough during the mid game because like I would be like maybe dying for like 1 or 2 kills, but that's like 2 points compared to like if I stay alive and value my life a little bit more in the mid game. Well, I could be deadly in the end game and get 6 points, 7 points, 8 points, get us the win, which is 4 kills. I could get 4 kills in the end game and the win, which is 8 points just by myself. And obviously it's a team game, but that's kind of what I can bring to a team. It's like, I know I can be so deadly when I'm alive.
That's why I call you the Belgian boogeyman. That's why I say it. I said that was the last question, but there was one thing I forgot to touch on, and this is quick. What do you think of the Third Eye logo?
I saw that yesterday. I was shocked.
I didn't realize.
What? I was like, why? Or what is it? I feel like it's kind of like a revenge thing that Aldous has compared like towards BBB because he got kicked, right? I think he got kicked from BBB, so maybe he has like there's some bad blood. Is how you say it? Bad blood?
Yeah,
bad blood. There's some bad blood in there. I don't know. I don't really care this much. I think it's funny. I hope their whole goal, their whole purpose is to grief us.
Yeah.
I don't think so. I think they have, like I said, they're a good team. I think I talked pretty highly of them earlier. It's like I see them as a contender. They're pretty good, and they have good potential. So
you want to grief them though, the way that you griefed Yahoo on Twitter during the week. That was.
I'm not a part of this. Okay, leave me out of it.
It's funny. Look, everyone enjoys a bit of fun.
It was funny.
Well, look, Corsac, it was an absolute pleasure having you on. I'm delighted we finally got to do it because it has been way too long. Like, you were on Rumblers when we started talking about it, so to get it done, it's been a good time. Best of luck.
I'm glad we did.
Yeah, best of luck this weekend, or not this weekend, but next weekend at PS. You know, I'm, as a European, I'm going to have a little bit of a soft spot for one of the few Europeans that we got playing in NA. So best of luck, man. Go smash it. And if you guys bring your A game, there's no telling how far you could go.
Yeah, thank you so much. I really, really appreciate it. Thank you for putting the time in into having me in the interview and supporting me the past few months. I really, really appreciate your support, your constant support in general. So yeah, much love. And if you guys haven't subscribed to Gibson channel right now,
like it.
Follow him on Twitter, on Twitch if you guys are watching this on Twitch. And if you put this during in between games, I hope I'm not gonna die early.
But then you get to watch it, you know.
Yeah, sure.
So I'm genuinely, I couldn't have said it better myself. Thank you so much. Best of luck at the weekend. Best of luck in tonight's tournament, and we'll see you guys soon. Thanks for watching.